With Legends of Tomorrow on the rise, I've got quite the little story to tell. Okay, that pun was terrible. Yes? Worth it? Not really. At least I've got quite the story to throw at him. Get it? Because it's like Adam, but it's actually Adam. Not like Adam, but like Adam. Whatever. Welcome to Alter Ego, the show where we dive into everything there is to know about names in comics. I'm DK, and my camera broke, but we wanted to get a video out to you anyway, so we're just doing voiceover. Anyway, today I'm here to tell you about a time in comics where you could blatantly offend your friend and make a fairly iconic comic book character doing so. Through science, wit, and white dwarf star matter, Ray Palmer developed the tools necessary to shrink down to a bite-sized badass. We obviously know where the atom came from. Atoms are microscopic building blocks of nature. He became microscopic. Put two and two together, bada bing, bada boom, hey, the atom. That's good and simple. However, there's a bit more of a story for his alter ego, Ray Palmer. It goes back to a man named Julius Schwartz all the way back in the 1940s. The company Schwartz was working for, All American Comics, had a merger with a little-known publisher called Detective Comics. By the 1950s, he'd taken charge of the company and fostered what would become the Silver Age of comics. If you remember from a video Scott did forever ago when he had hair, the Silver Age revamped many existing characters, bringing them more into the age of science. Green Lantern went from having mystical powers to having alien technology, for instance. Many of DC's characters got reboots during the Silver Age, including today's focus, the Atom. The original Golden Age Atom was named Al Pratt, who premiered in All American Comics number 19 from 1940. He's not really all that interesting. He was essentially this small, scrawny little kid who was picked on in school and then went on to train his body into peak fighting condition. Very different from the Atom we've seen in Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. When Atom was rebooted in Showcase number 34 from 1961 under Schwartz's leadership, he was given a new identity. He was a university professor and physicist who was experimenting with a method that would compress the matter of any object, effectively making it shrink. He would use it on himself to gain the ability to shrink to subatomic sizes and subsequently became a crime fighter. This version of the Atom also had a different alter ego than the one from the Golden Age. This new Atom's real name was Raymond Ray Palmer. So what's so significant about that? Well, the name was actually based off a real-life friend of Julius Schwartz. You see, Schwartz had been quite the sci-fi fan, and so were his friends. So when he had the chance to adapt the Atom from Al Pratt to a new face, he jumped at the opportunity to give his friends some love. One of Schwartz's friends was an editor for the science fiction magazine Amazing Stories. This friend, as you can probably guess, was named Raymond A. Palmer. So let's go into why he was specifically the inspiration for the Atom. When Palmer was 7 years old, he was brutally hit by a truck and broke his back. After a failed operation to fix his spine, Palmer's growth had been stunted. He never grew past 4 feet tall. His friends would all joke around with him about his little size. So when it became time to pick a name for a character whose power set was to be small, the Schwartz thought it only appropriate to name him after Raymond Palmer. Yes, the subatomic superhero we all know and love was based off a hunchback science fiction writer from the 1940s who had a remarkably high tolerance of his friends' jokes towards his stature. To his credit, Palmer was apparently known for his sense of humor and appreciated the homage. So as you watch the premiere of Legends of Tomorrow featuring the Atom, you now know that the character was revitalized in the Silver Age and brought to television with a name taken from a very tolerant friend. It's the little things, you know? Hashtag puns. Thanks for watching this faceless episode of Alter Ego. If you want to check out that video I mentioned where Scott talks about the different ages of comics, go ahead and click on this video on the left here. And if you want to hear more of me doing my voiceover thing, check out this video right over here where I impersonated the characters from League of Legends. And if this is your first time hanging out with us here at NerdSync, hit that big old subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the great videos we have coming your way every single week. Once again, I'm DK. Thanks for watching.